Prices for pre-owned Rolex watches kept falling on the secondary market last month, while entry-level models and brands like Cartier and Omega fared comparatively better. An index of Rolex timepieces declined by 2.2% in September, according to market prices tracked by the Bloomberg Sub dial watch index. An index of 100 entry-level watches, typically priced below $9,120, fell by 0.8% over the same period. The results show collectors and enthusiasts are still wary of shelling out for the most hyped models from the top Swiss brands after a surge in prices in 2021 and into 2022. Prices for Rolex, Patek, and other top pre-owned models soared to records on the secondary market during the pandemic, only to pull back sharply, beginning in April 2022, amid higher interest rates and the collapse of many cryptocurrencies. Today, we're going to discuss about the reason for the falling prices of Rolex watches. Let's jump into our topic without wasting any time. The bubble and decreased demand. The peak of Rolex prices was seen in February 2022, with the index reaching $60,000. However, by the end of the year, prices had dropped to $36,000, and currently they are around $34,000. This significant decrease can be attributed to a bubble that had formed in the watch market. Speculative investors were buying Rolex watches with the hope of making hefty profits, leading to an artificial increase in demand and prices. However, as the bubble burst, the demand for Rolex professional models decreased. Over the previous 6 months, lower-priced, entry-level timepieces have outperformed the overall market as well as the Rolex and Patek Philippe indexes. The Bloomberg Sub dial watch index, which includes a group of the 50 most traded watches by value from Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet, has dropped about 5% in 6 months, while the entry-level 100 index has fallen by just 0.7% over the same period. The exception to the cheaper watches outperforming trend has been Rolex sister brand Tudor, whose entry-level priced watches have dropped 4.8% in 6 months. Still, the majority of the watches in the Bloomberg Sub-Dial Watch Index from Patek, AP, and Rolex continue to fetch prices on the secondary market above their listed retail price. Since late 2022, Wall Street has been rife with predictions for the Federal Reserve's interest rate increases to wreak havoc in the US economy and stock market. While the broader economy has held up surprisingly well, the monetary blitzkrieg has sparked a downturn of a different kind, a rout in the secondary market for luxury watches. The watch chart's overall market index, which tracks the prices of 60 timepieces from top brands, including Rolex, Patek Philippe, and AP, has plunged 32% from a March 2022 peak. Increased supply and new factories. The falling demand for luxury watches is largely due to rising interest rates and a slowdown in consumer spending on discretionary items like electronics, furniture, and apparel. Partly because of buyers trying to save money, the prices of some mid-tier luxury watches, including models from Omega, are rising, outperforming the high-end Swiss models. Many buyers are looking for rare, undervalued timepieces and, in some cases, smaller-sized watches. While the demand was falling, the supply of Rolex watches reached an all-time high. Although there were some temporary production halts during the pandemic, Rolex production never dropped below the standard 800,000 to 1 million watches per year. In fact, Rolex is building new factories and plans to ship more watches in the coming months. This increase in supply aims to cater to the growing demand, particularly in the Asian market. Rolex Certified Pre-Owned Program. To adapt to the changing market dynamics, Rolex introduced the Certified Pre-Owned Program. Authorized dealers now offer pre-owned Rolex watches that have been authenticated and serviced by Rolex. These watches come with a new complete set of paperwork, adding value to the purchase. While Rolex does not directly set the prices for certified pre-owned watches, retailers do. This has led to a race to the bottom in prices as dealers compete with each other. Race to the bottom in prices. As more dealers offer Rolex certified pre-owned watches, competition intensifies, leading to lower prices. Some retailers are even pricing their certified pre-owned watches 50% above the normal pre-owned market value for the same model. However, this price competition is driving down overall pre-owned prices and creating a self-perpetuating loop. Ultimately, it benefits buyers who can enjoy the lower prices. Market rebalancing and normalization. The current downward trend in Rolex prices can be seen as a market rebalancing itself after the bubble burst. It is a process of returning to normal levels rather than a drastic decline. Other luxury watch brands, such as Omega and Vacheron Constantin, are also experiencing price decreases. However, Cartier seems to be holding its ground and not following the same trend. Rolex's strategy for the future. Rolex's strategy moving forward involves increasing both supply and demand. By building new factories and boosting production, Rolex aims to meet the growing demand for its watches. Simultaneously, the brand is also focusing on expanding its presence in the Asian market, which shows significant potential for luxury watches. The Asian market and increased demand. The Asian market has become a crucial driving force behind the increased demand for luxury watches, including Rolex. As wealth and disposable income rise in countries like China and India, more individuals are looking to invest in luxury timepieces. Rolex's plans to cater to this demand by increasing supply are expected to further strengthen its position in the market. Is it a good time to buy a Rolex? If you're considering buying a Rolex, the answer depends on your purpose. If you genuinely want to own a Rolex watch for personal enjoyment, there is never a bad time to buy one. Rolex watches hold their value over time, and fluctuations in the market should not deter you. However, if your primary motivation is to make a quick profit, buying a Rolex solely for investment purposes is not advisable, as the market can be unpredictable. In conclusion, the recent decrease in Rolex prices can be attributed to the bursting of a speculative bubble and a subsequent market rebalancing. Increased supply, along with the introduction of the Rolex Certified Pre-Owned program, has played a significant role in driving down prices. Nonetheless, buying a Rolex for personal enjoyment remains a good decision, regardless of market fluctuations. As demand continues to evolve, Rolex is adapting its strategy to meet the changing dynamics and capitalize on growth opportunities, particularly in the Asian market. But for those who love the craftsmanship and plan to keep their watch for decades or even generations, now could be one of the best moments in recent memory.